Good morning, Calvary. It's natural for us to make plans and to desire those plans to come to pass. That's part of being a human being. But it's also pretty common for us to make plans and then have those plans fall apart. And when that happens, sometimes not only our plans fall apart, but we kind of fall apart. I've had a number of those plans come to nothing over the last few months. First of all, I planned to celebrate the Awana Awards night with the kids. That didn't happen. Then there was a trip to Montana and another trip to the lakeshore that got canceled. There were graduations that got canceled for us. Lots of changes and disappointments. You know, God has plans too. But those plans are not flimsy like ours. They're firm. It says in Psalm 33, "The counsel of the Lord stands forever, the plans of his heart to all generations." It's not that we shouldn't make plans. It's just that we should understand that our plans are sort of secondary and God's plans are primary. So what are some of God's plans? One of God's good plans is to make Christians Christ-like. And you think, well, shouldn't Christians already be Christ-like? Yeah, they should. But we're not. And Jesus is in the process of conforming our hearts to be made like his heart, which is good and smart and true. God is always at work to do that. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's difficult, but it's always good for us. And it's a certainty, because Paul reminded us we can be confident of this very thing, that he who began a good work will complete it even to the day that Jesus comes back. That's a plan of God's heart. Another certain plan of God's heart is this, that he will fix the brokenness that we see around us. Have you ever heard of kind of this COVID depression? It's hard. There's an anxiety, there's a stress. Everything seems a little bit more complicated. You know what? You can look around and say, it's not supposed to be like this. But guess what? Even before COVID, it wasn't supposed to be like this. You go back to Paul, he said, we live in this present evil world. It's been bad even back then. So it's true. There's brokenness all around us. And while it's not new, it still is not the way it ought to be. And one of Jesus' plans is spelled out for us in Revelation 21:3-4. I'd like to read it for you, just to remind you of the greatness of God's goodness. It says this, "I heard a loud voice from heaven saying, 'Listen, the tabernacle of God is with people, and he will dwell with them, and they will be his people. And God himself will be with them and be their God.'" He will be with them. And then listen to what he is going to do. "And God will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There shall be no more death, nor sorrow, nor crying. There shall be no more pain. For the old things have passed away." The work of Jesus Christ, his plan that is firm and forever, is that he will fix the brokenness. I hope that encourages you today to take your secondary plans and make them a part of God's primary plans. Plans to do good for us, no matter what. May the Lord bless you today.